Right guys, welcome back. In this part 2 section of this video series, we're going to look at a way that we can move data from Houdini into Substance Painter. So for example, all the masks that you generate with the mask by feature node, they are much more complex and much more detailed than anything that we can do using the methods we've been using up till now in Painter. So we need to think of a way that we can shift all those masks from Houdini into Substance Painter and then start using them to drive our layers in the way that we've been working. Okay. So very often, for reasons I've just explained, you want to bring your height field mask data from Houdini into Painter. For example, this water mask here was created by the erode node, and you can see we've got loads of really interesting detail and loads of cool features that we might want to incorporate into our layer stack to drive some materials. And this one here you can see is where the water would pool and drive down the hills and things like that. And you can see it in this image here. We've got this nice sort of standing water effect going on where I've just cranked up the roughness so it's more reflective, and we've got this nice water effect that's kind of pooling on the surface. So that would be impossible to make, well, not impossible, but I couldn't think how you would do it in Substance Painter to make a map like that. So this is a great candidate for something that we might want to move from Houdini into Substance Painter. And besides that, you know, we might have spent a lot of time working on our height field, making these masks specifically for the purpose of driving shaders and driving materials and things. So as you can see here, we've got some curvature information and we've got some debris information that we might want to bring across. And these masks will work with our UDIM coordinates when we bake them out from Houdini, so we know that everything will tie up together neatly in our shading system. So yeah, but because we're working with UDIMs and the way we set up our UV coordinates, these maps can be any size, and because they're sort of quite simple masks, we could probably get away with rendering these out at about 1K or even 512. In these test versions that I did, I rendered them out at 512 and they were, you know, sufficient enough to get you going. Okay. So the way we're going to do it, we need to bake these attribute values, and that's all they are at the moment. These are just attribute values, with 1 being white and obviously 0 being black. So we need to get this information, this attribute value, and we need to bake it out into some texture maps that Substance Painter will understand. And we can do that using our existing UV coordinates and UDIM tiles. And then, just like any other external asset, we can bring them into Substance Painter to drive masks and drive blending and all that good stuff that we've been looking at. But there's a caveat here, and what I want to say is this process is really fiddly. I mean, I've obviously when I was putting this together, I stepped through it, and I missed loads of stuff. And it's like, oh, I forgot to do that. Oh, I forgot to do that. Oh, yeah, I forgot to do that. So, like many things in Houdini, this process is fiddly. So you need to be, you know, very methodical when it comes to putting this technique together, because Houdini won't tell you what's wrong. It'll just assume that you know what you're doing and do nothing if you've missed a step. So you might be tearing your hair out like I was, wondering why these maps weren't baking, and it was because I'd forgotten a simple thing. So just make sure, if you are following along with these videos, make sure you're keeping notes, and then watch through the following videos a couple of times, because I'm going to try and go really slow with this section, because I do feel it is important and you can really get some cool results using the masks that the height field tools create. So yeah, just bear that in mind when you're working through these next couple of videos, that if you miss a step or you try to rush ahead, you might find that you're not getting the output that you want. Okay, so in the next video we will jump across into Houdini and start setting up this system. What I would recommend is you get a notebook and sort of maybe jot down the steps as we go along on your first watch, just so you can kind of get your head around the process and what's going on. Okay, so thanks for that, and I'll see you in the next video.